Hey guys, it's Nutchix here, and today we are going to go over whether or not Disney Plus is worth it. I know a lot of you are going to be like either are college students or you're in a household with two or more adults, and you want to decide whether or not you want to spend the money to get this extra streaming service that typically is for kids. And there are a couple of things that might be a benefit to getting it if you don't have children, and some of these things might be a detriment if you don't have children. It kind of just depends on where you are. So I wanted to go over a pros and cons list that I put together that might help you decide whether or not you want to start subscribing to Disney Plus. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the price because it's all about money, right? The first price for Disney Plus is $9.99, which is $2 more than what it's either a dollar or $2 more than what I was paying for Netflix. But it does have like every single Disney movie pretty much ever. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. They also have a second option where you can do a bundle of Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, which I didn't even know existed. And the format of ESPN Plus is pretty nice. It's just I also don't know how to use it. Like it looks nice. It's just like I want to watch a basketball game. I don't know how to find the basketball games. They can show you like the stats of how the games are going. They have live streams of when games are, but I don't know what time games are. Like I know the Super Bowl's on Sundays, but I want to watch obscure stuff like curling and soccer. Not that soccer is obscure, but it's what I want to watch, and they don't have it as an option, therefore it's obscure. But yeah, so that's the price. And as for some of the pros and cons that I put together just to help you decide, one of the first ones that I saw was that they do have a lot of movies. So the selection is wide. They even organize everything for you between like Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Originals, Pixar, and let me see, Disney Plus originals. So there's those, and then they also have them by decade and by type, and Mickey Mouse cartoons and princess cartoons and like classic Pixar. Like they have everything organized for you as you would want to watch it. So if you wanted to watch binge every single Disney movie that has a princess in it, you can do that. Or if you wanted to binge all of the Star Wars series, which I kind of want to do because I haven't really watched all of them yet. But I might do that too. They also have cartoons from the 1940s, with like the early Mickey Mouse, like stuff that Walt Disney actually worked on, which I think like historically is amazing. Let me see. The format of the Disney Plus service is beautiful. I absolutely love the clear blue that they have, how organized it is, which I just gushed about, but you know what I'm saying. And they don't do the annoying thing that Netflix does, where like you're scrolling through and it gives you a trailer of a TV show that you're not interested in as you're scrolling through, and like nothing plays automatically. I think Netflix has also stopped doing that because they know that no one likes it. It's really annoying. You kind of like don't want to hear gunshots when you're looking for like a rom-com to watch, right? So I'm glad that they stopped doing that. Let me see. I talked about the classic movies. Oh yeah, the original content. So I liked some of the ideas that they have for the original content. One I'm really interested in is The World According to Jeff Goldblum. So that one is about him just like, I think it's, if I'm remembering it correctly, he's just like taking up odd jobs and like just doing random stuff that he's interested in, or like he wants to know about something. He's just gonna make a whole series about it, and that's him. Like he's just that lovable at this point, and I love that. Let me see. And they also said that the selection is going to improve as Disney Plus evolves. So there's going to be more Marvel shows like She-Hulk, and there's also going to be a Lizzie McGuire remake, which I'm really excited about because I loved Lizzie McGuire as a kid. I wish they would remake, what was it? Sister Sister? That would be amazing. Or The Proud Family? Oh my gosh. But yeah, so those are all of the pros that I had. Now I'm going to go into the cons of having Disney Plus. I don't like that they didn't have Song of the South. And let me explain why, because I know that's very controversial. So I'm kind of one of those people that believes that bad things have happened in history, but that doesn't mean that we should pretend like they didn't happen at all, because how else are we supposed to learn from the things that happened? And also it gives us perspective about how people were seen during that time period. So I feel like completely removing Song of the South as an option on Disney Plus kind of harms Disney. There's also some propaganda cartoons that I need to check for myself, but they might not have on there because it was during a time where, World War II, which was a very traumatic time for everybody, they were making propaganda cartoons for that. And some of them might be offensive now. But there's stuff that goes on now that will be offensive later on. And I think that doesn't mean that we should shy away from history. I think we should still have it. And the great thing about a streaming service is that you don't have to watch it. It's amazing. You have options and the right to choose. It's like we live in the future or something. And I feel like a lot of companies don't really understand that, is that people are smart enough to know whether or not they should watch something. And I feel like responsible parents know whether or not to allow their kids to watch something. So if they wanted to, they could put a mature rating on certain films, or certain restrictions on it, so that way kids don't get exposed to that stuff. Because if you are a family that is sensitive to racial issues, then there should be an option for that. I know that would affect the whole algorithm a lot, but I still kind of think that people should just be able to have options. I don't know. I would definitely let my children watch Song of the South, because they need to know how Black people were viewed and how they're viewed now and how things have changed. And also it would be a good way to have conversations with them about how much history has changed. I mean, there are cartoons that my dad watched that he and I talk about, and, movies that he watched that my dad and I talk about. I mean, you guys saw my Dolomite film review, and Dolomite was a controversial film. It was absolutely controversial. And it also exploited Black people, and there was a lot of white hate, but there was also tribal references, and there was gang violence and cursing. But it's we can't filter everything for our children, right? So it's at some point in time, they're going to grow up and then they're going to want to watch that stuff to look at the past. But I've talked a lot about that. That's not my only con. It's really not. I have a whole list. So the next thing I put down was that they don't have that great of an interest, that I personally don't have that great of an interest in the originals. Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but I grew up as a High School Musical kid. Love High School Musical. And one of the things I absolutely loved about High School Musical was Corbin Bleu. I think he's gorgeous still, and he's wonderful. But now they've remade High School Musical, and it's kind of hard to explain. So they remade High School Musical, but High School Musical was a musical, and now they're doing a documentary on kids who are redoing the High School Musical, which sounds very interesting. And they're doing it in a Parks and Rec, The Office type of one camera TV show, which I love that. I have no interest in watching that at all. I've grown out of it, and I don't want to see it personally. If you want to see it, I want to make that an option for you. But some of the other originals, they just don't interest me. And I feel like I have to be patient with Disney Plus to get more interest in it, but I would kind of like to know how much time it's going to take, because honestly, if I could just go down to $9.99 or not get Disney Plus at all and just stick with Hulu, I would do that. I just want to see what my options are, and I really wish that Disney Plus had more advertisement for what is coming out. Maybe they do on Twitter, or maybe there's YouTube videos about it, but I personally have not seen any videos made by Disney Plus about what's going on. Or what's coming out and when. I think that they did an expo, because that was one of the expos that Black Nerd Comedy, Andre from Black Nerd Comedy did. So maybe I'll watch his video and do a second review on this, but that's kind of all I could see right now. Let me see. Oh, with the issue with the bundle is, I don't watch ESPN Plus. And I don't watch ESPN in general. So I'm trying to give that out to someone, maybe as a gift. But if I can't find anyone else that likes ESPN, I'm just going to go back to just Disney Plus. Also, I also think Disney Plus might be better if you just have kids. I don't think that it's for someone that's like in college, unless they're obsessed with Disney movies or they're like a film critic. So um, honestly, it kind of comes down to my last point, which is who is Disney Plus good for? I think Disney Plus is fantastic for families. I feel like it has a lot of options, things that are mature, but that are also going to not mature as in like inappropriate, but mature as in like it's content that's deeper than what kids are used to. Because I feel like Pixar does a really good job with that, where they have a movie that has like a lot of fun around it, but it's a movie that you can grow up with. So I feel like if I watched what was one movie I grew up with? Okay, Finding Nemo. Saw Finding Nemo 5 times when it came out. Finding Nemo is a movie I actually grew up with and have continued to grow up with it. I watched it a couple of times as a child. I think it was like 7 when it came out, and then I was 17 when I watched it again, and then I watched it I think maybe 2 years ago when I was like 22, and it gets deeper and deeper for me. No pun intended, but you know, I feel like it's good for families. I think it's also good for people who are nostalgic, kind of like me, who went to see all the movies that they didn't get to grow up watching, or um, they're just curious about things, or they just want to relive all the Disney magic again. It's also really good for college students if you just don't have the space to store all of the Disney movies that you ever watched. Get Disney Plus, and then you can just put it on your Roku and then watch all of the movies that you want to watch and binge it and bring people over to your dorm room and party. I think it's also really good for minimalists. So I know that being a minimalist was something trendy that kind of came out in like 2016, 2017. And I think that if you just don't want a whole bunch of Disney movies in your house and you don't want to like, pull out your DVD player every single time, and I know most people just cast things to their television, I think it's good for you. If you just don't mind paying $9.99 a month and you just want to post everything up on the wall, then you should do that. But other than that, I don't really see much of an option to get Disney Plus if you're looking for like original content that's really, really good, or movies that are great. I watched maybe 3 minutes of Inhumans and it was terrible. I watched the live action the live action musical of The Little Mermaid. It was terrible. So get it for the Disney movies that you love and the ones that you're curious about that you didn't get to see, but the originals have kind of been disappointing so far. So that's my review so far. If you liked it, if you liked my review, please like it. If you have any suggestions for me on what I need to see, please put it in the comments below, and check out my other videos. And have a blessed day, guys. Bye. All righty.